We got freedom to gain, we feed them the game. Turn on New Freedom Exchange, we freeing your brain. They tryna shackle your mind, no half of us blind. Remember the past, but never go backwards in time. The ancestors lived through us, they help us build a model community. New Africa is soon to be. So tune in to Sis.Marsha, Mujahideen, Imam Bilal, to get your cultural enlightenment now.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome.
Welcome back to another edition of New Freedom Exchange, your cultural expression for social dignity and community empowerment. I'm your co-host, Brother Deen, here with
Assalamu alaikum, Imam Bilal Hassan. Welcome, everyone, back to New Freedom Exchange. It's good to see everyone live and direct here. If everyone is tuned in, please let us know where you're tuned in from. It's been a while, so we hope everyone is having a great Friday. Jummah Mubarak to the Muslims around the country and around the world. Those who are tuned in, if you are tuned in, please like and share this live to your friends and family. Share now. We're streaming live on New Freedom Exchange, our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, New Freedom Network Facebook page and YouTube channel. So please like, subscribe. But most importantly, share this live stream now to your pages and to your profiles to let people know that we are live on air. And most importantly, tonight we have a promo show that we are promoting, an emergency fundraiser for the San Francisco Muslim Community Center in the Bay Area. Well, before we get to that, real quick, do a quick check-in and see how everyone is doing. So Khadija checked in, says Assalamu alaikum. Jummah Mubarak. Wa alaikum assalam, Khadija. Jummah Mubarak. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. Deen, how was your week? How's life been?
everything's pretty good, just rocking and rolling. Inshallah, we'll be have the next few weeks be pretty busy. Quite a few events going on in our community, and everything's good. How about yourself?
Alhamdulillah, everything as well, my beloved. We have been busy as well, just wrapping up the school year here with the mentoring program that I also direct on Saturdays. A couple more sessions left, and then we wrap up with the academic school year, and then we start planning for next academic school year. And work has been productive. Like you said, we are working on quite a few shows coming up. Quite a few programming is coming up. So one of which tonight we're talking about is the emergency fundraiser for the San Francisco Muslim Community Center. We have scrolling on the bottom of our screen. Oh, there's the flyer, actually. It's actually probably a little small, but it's okay. I will be able to give a summary to what is to happen. We're having a fundraiser here for the San Francisco Muslim Community Center that's hosted by them via Zoom. The registration link is scrolling across the bottom of the screen and will be in the comments section for people to register. Comedian Preacher Moss will be the host for the night, and we will be sharing all the special guests that you saw on that flyer. We'll be sharing a story about our leader and teacher, Imam Muhammad. But without giving full detail, more details are with our special guest that we have tonight, which is the resident Imam of the San Francisco Muslim Community Center, Imam Abu Qadir El-Amin. And without no further ado, let us bring him on the screen. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on the program with you tonight.
Alhamdulillah, it's an honor. It's certainly a pleasure, and we certainly could not miss this opportunity to help promote a noble effort in our community. And we wanted to give a few minutes and let the believers know about this program and about the initiative that you all are taking place in the Bay Area. So without no further ado, Imam, if you could introduce yourself, number one, to the people who may not be familiar with yourself, and then we'll go into our conversation about what's happening tomorrow night.
Yes, my name is Abu Qadir El-Amin. I'm the resident imam of the San Francisco Muslim Community Center. I received my first appointment as imam by Imam Deen Muhammad in 1980. And since that time, I've been serving as the imam at the San Francisco Muslim Community Center, formerly located in the Western Addition of San Francisco, better known as the Fillmore. And most recently, the last 10 years, we've been residing at 4760 Mission Street, which is in the Excelsior District near City College in San Francisco State. And we have a very diverse community, initially formed by African Americans, and African Americans have remained in the leadership since 1957. We've had a presence in San Francisco, and we want to continue.
Alhamdulillah, beautiful, beautiful. With that being said, with that snippet of history, obviously the history is very great. We were talking about since 57 to the present, so there's a lot of historical information that we are not talking about tonight that we will share on another show to come, inshallah, a little bit more about the history of our community in the Bay Area of San Francisco. But we want to talk about what's happening currently with the Masjid. At this point, with the event that's happening, the virtual event that's happening tomorrow night, could you explain to us a little bit about what's the current state of the Masjid and what's going to be happening with tomorrow night's program?
Right. Thank you. What we're faced with now, we've been leasing there for the last 10 years. And prior to Ramadan, the owners of the property came out and they measured the property, which we have control of 13,000 square feet. We have 5,000 square feet that's used for commercial purposes. We have transitional housing at 5,000 square feet, and we have a 3,000 square foot musalla in the mezzanine. So after they came in and measured the property during the month of Ramadan, toward the end of Ramadan, they told us that they gave us an ultimatum. They said they want us out of the property by July the 1st, unless we want to buy the property. So of course we want to buy the property because ownership puts us in a stronger position and enables us to provide sustained services to the broader community at large. So we met with them on the day of the Eid, the owner, and discussed with them what their expectations were, what they wanted to receive for the property. And then we made an offer. They made a counter offer. We made another counter offer, which they accepted. And part of that acceptance of the counter offer was a $50,000 down payment, which we are seeking to raise funds to make that down payment. We'll have loan brokers working on securing a loan for us, which it looks very good. We have an individual that has over 800 credit score who's going to sign for the property for us. And we're moving forward, trying to take advantage of our collective strength. Most of us in our small communities, we don't have collective strength wherewith we can do this alone. So we're appealing to our brothers and sisters throughout the United States to help us with this effort. It will be a great achievement on the part of the Muslim community and will enable us to have a more sustainable future for those who are coming behind us. We want to leave a strong legacy for them to inherit our presence and our continued good works, inshallah.
Inshallah, yes. Beautiful, excellent. And that leads me to the question in reference to, since we're on the topic of Saturday now in this virtual program, what can people expect What's the theme? What people can expect when they sign up, when they register? What are we expecting to see on Saturday night when people sign on?
Well, when you sign on, you'll hear some of the pioneers in our community who have a long-standing a history of service to the community, some of our more productive workers in the community, some of the imams, some of the sisters who have contributed greatly to the direction and the organization of our work in the community. So we expect that you will hear some enlightening stories about their relationships and experiences with Imam Deen Muhammad, imams like Imam Qasim Ahmed. Some stories will be told about Imams Ibrahim Pasha and others, and the relationships and how that has enhanced the community's growth and development. So we're about giving credit where credit is due. All of us are standing on the shoulders of others who have gone before us and made tremendous sacrifices so that we could have the community that we call the indigenous African American community that values and respects and loves the leadership of Imam Deen Muhammad, while not excluding others. We acknowledge that Allah has blessed us with a special blessing and favor and has given us responsibility that we believe that we still have room to measure up to and express in this current time. So you should hear from individuals like Khalila Ali. You should hear from individuals like Fitra Muhammad, Imam Abdul Karim Hassan, who's in the final phases of building Masjid Bilal in Los Angeles, California. You'll hear from imams like Yahya Abdullah. You'll hear from imams like Wazir Ali out of Houston, Texas, who has completed the building of Masjid Deen Muhammad in Houston. And they're in the second phase. They're building the Imam Kamaluddin Community Center adjacent to that. So you should. I look forward to a very stimulating conversation and to hear some things that you may not have heard before from these individuals who had the benefit of traveling with our leader, living in close proximity to our leader, supporting his leadership and direction for our community, and are working hard to carry that on.
Absolutely. And want to urge the audience who are listening now to remain sharing this content. Right now, we are with those who are just tuned in. We are with the resident Imam Abu Qadir El-Amin, Imam from San Francisco Muslim Islamic Center, Community Center inside of San Francisco. And we're discussing the appeal that's being made to the Muslim community to raise $50,000 to put down a deposit on the property because they want to own the property. They want to buy the property. And that's a noble effort that we all should be supporting. The link to tomorrow's program is on Zoom, via Zoom, from 8 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m. Eastern, correct, Imam? That's correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, great. So 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, you will have a chance to hear from as Imam Abu Qadir mentioned, some of our seniors, some of the seniors, those who are pioneers, those are the elders who have paved the way for a lot of us to be here in this present time, and to have Al-Islam here in the West, here in America, and be able to practice our faith fully. And with that, we do owe a great amount of honor, and appreciation. And we want to encourage the believers tonight, those who are watching tonight, or those who watch later on, to catch the recording later on, to register for this event, tune into this event, and consider making a donation. Any donation counts. We're not counting anyone's pockets. I'm sure the Imam's not counting anyone's pockets. I mean, at this point, $5, $25, $50, $100, they'll take all of that, because all that towards the goal. Yes, I'm saying. And we have to think about our paradise, our Jannah Firdaus. What do we want our paradise, our garden to look like? And this is a chance for us to get some more blessings, and to give to a masajid is a major blessing. Is, to help a masjid sustain itself, is a major blessing, and we'll have that blessing counted, inshallah, on our scale, something way heavy on our scale, to allow us to enter Jannatul Firdaus, to enter the paradise, into the garden. So the sadaqah that you give, it really counts. It really does. And even if it's a small amount, you may think, well, I don't have $1,000, $10,000 to give to the masjid. It's okay. It's okay. Give what you have. Give what you can without hurting your pockets, without hurting your families. Even if it's just sharing. Like tonight, our contribution tonight is helping to provide a platform for the believers, to allow them to come on and to do these promos, to do these promotions for their programming and for their initiatives that they have, because we want to connect the community and make sure everyone stays connected. Despite us living in different states, different time zones, we always want to stay connected, and make that connection. So please consider registering for tomorrow's event, and make that donation, and get those checkbooks ready, get the Cash App, all those things ready, so you can make those donations. Imam, if you could elaborate a little bit about what is the future like for the San Francisco Muslim Community Center. Could you give us a little taste, or a little sneak peek, if you would,
Yes.
into what the future looks like after you raise this $50,000, and after you take ownership of the building? We're speaking that, we're praying to Allah, that's our dua, that He'll make that possible for us. So after that's made possible, what are the plans?
So I failed to mention that we also have some young individuals. Mostly what I mentioned previously were people who have long-standing service in the community. Imam Suleiman Hamid from the Atlanta Masjid of Al-Islam is one of our scheduled speakers, along with his co-imam, Imam Rashad Abdul Rahman. Sister Anisa Dawan is going to be on the call. One of my long-standing friends, Imam Omar Sharif from Sacramento, who used to be imam and minister in Philadelphia back in the first resurrection, will be on the line. And they built a masjid from the ground up in Sacramento, a beautiful property that has a nice parking lot in the back. It owns both properties on both sides of the masjid, and they have a beautiful masala, a state-of-the-art kitchen. And those are the kind of things that we intend to do with the San Francisco Muslim Community Center once we have ownership. We've been holding back beautifying the property because it's not prudent to put a lot of wealth into somebody else's property. So we've been just utilizing it to generate income and to provide the services that we offer to the children. We formerly housed the San Francisco Islamic School at our center. Since that time, we've turned the first floor into transitional housing for students who are seeking higher education. So we have students who live there who are paying rent, and that helps us pay for the lease. So we continue to use it for those purposes, where we're going to beautify it. We're going to improve on it. One of the loans that we're seeking is a loan for renovation. So we're going to renovate. We're going to expand the musalla. We're going to beautify it with our decorations and our Islamic taste. And we intend to also continue to use it to generate income, so we won't have to continue to come before the believers asking for sadaqah. Though sadaqah doesn't decrease your wealth. Anything that you give in sadaqah, according to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it doesn't decrease your wealth. So we encourage you to give generously to this noble and worthwhile cause. We need to make a safe place for our Muslim community to continue to grow in. And we don't want to be pushed out. San Francisco is an expensive city to live in, but we've dug our heels in, and we refuse to be pushed out. So we're going to continue to exert our good efforts while entrusting our affairs to Allah, asking for His mercy, His blessings on this event, and asking for cooperation and support from the believers. And surely our life and our death is all for Allah. Our sacrifices and our services are all for Allah.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's this. I mean, you hit on a couple of points, and that's the future. We're doing this for our the next generation, for our progeny who's coming up behind us, and this is crucial that we continue to build our institutions to be more sustainable. So having this plan that you all have, it's very important. As you stated, San Francisco is a very expensive city. It's definitely more expensive than New York, and that's not saying that New York is not expensive either. So so I get it, I understand it. Owning property is a big responsibility. It's a big deal. It's big accountability, and we definitely want to make sure that you all reach you. We definitely want you all to reach your all's goal and achieve this, not only for the interim period, but for the long term period. Because after we have left and gone, the only thing standing we want to have is our work. When you're gone, you want people to come to our janazas and not talk bad about us, but talk about how good we were in terms of doing the work. So I'm saying, putting in that effort, and that we left a legacy that we feel comfortable with, knowing that we worked, to please Allah. So I'm saying, and do those things that will enable the community to really move forward in this realm, and become productive citizens. School education is so important. So I'm glad you mentioned the education part, and the education component, because we have our Clear Muhammad schools and W. Muhammad schools, and we want to continue to replicate those models across the country, in any way that we can. Even if it's a weekend school, which we know there's some in existence already in our community, that are weekend schools, which are fine. So I'm saying, we need those type of outlets for our children, for teaching our children Islam, and the curriculum should be coming from our own people. So I'm saying, us, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, go ahead, Imam.
I would like to bring to your attention that the San Francisco Islamic School was housed at our facility for 2 years until they outgrew our facility. And the director of the school is the grandson of none other than Imam Muhammad Abdullah, aka WD-40.
Oh,
if you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So his grandson Kashif Abdullah is the director of the school. Now the San Francisco Islamic School, which we've been supporters of from their very inception, they outgrew our facility. They're a full-time school. They became a full-time school. They went from a weekend school to a full-time school by renting from us so they could have a full-time school. And then they outgrew our facility. But we continue to have an excellent working relationship, and we look forward to a continued working relationship in the future. The African American population in San Francisco is, I think, down to 30,000 African Americans left in San Francisco. It's a city of over 800,000, but only 30,000 African Americans still live there. Our presence is greater because many people work in San Francisco and live outside of San Francisco. But it's still necessary for us to have a dignified place that we can call our own. We're not shirking our responsibility. We need our own leadership. We need our own community. that's being directed by us, and with the sensitivities that we have and the ethos that we have as a people. And we're adults. We have adult responsibility. We want an adult share of the material world, and we're working for it, inshallah.
I mean, inshallah. I mean, so I'd like to remind the audience again for tuning in, sharing this live, share. We are reminding everyone uh, again to support the San Francisco Muslim Community Center's virtual fundraiser is happening tomorrow night, Saturday night, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So if you're going to be with us tomorrow night,
and it's 5 to 7
Pacific,
Pacific time, and it's
yes,
6 to 8 Central time.
yes. So
Yeah,
yes, so all those time zones. I'm sorry, but all those
yeah,
time zones, you get to tune in for this very special occasion. It is a mercy fundraiser. We do have to raise $50,000, so that's the goal to get us close to the 50K or exceed 50K. That's great,
yeah.
alhamdulillah. But if we get close to 50K or get to 50K or exceed, we need one of those options for tomorrow. So we want to encourage all the believers to come on, share in this experience, because you're going to hear firsthand accounts from all of these esteemed guests, very esteemed guests, very honorable guests, who have been with the Imam, who have traveled with the Imam, and they want to share the reflections with the community. And you will learn something more about our leader and his stratagem that he put in place for us as a community to move forward. So please come register now. The link is in the bio. Link in the comments rather, and now the link is on the screen bigger. Please share the link, share the flyer, share to your family, share to your friends, share to your networks. Do all those things that you need to do to make this event successful. We will have our next promo show is actually tomorrow with tomorrow night at 7. So as soon as we end, we'll jump on to the virtual fundraiser at 8 o'clock. But we are going to be back here at 7 o'clock tomorrow with the organizers of the 28th annual Ikpic Islamic Heritage Festival and Parade that happens for the last 28 years in the city of Philadelphia. The organizers will be with us at from Penn's Landing. And it will be with Imam Rashad is coming on tomorrow. Also, he's double duty tomorrow. He'll be on with us for a few minutes tomorrow night before he hops on with you, Imam Abu Qadir. And he'll be talking about him being the guest khatib Friday of next week in the city of Philadelphia at the steps of Independence Hall. So this will be a public Jummah outside. The communities of Muslims are working together to come in unison together, and the general public will get to hear the message of Al-Islam loud. So Friday is that, and then we'll discuss the rest of the program in terms of the concert that will be happening Saturday with Muslim artists and performers and all the vendors that will be there, et cetera, et cetera. So it'll be a wonderful night. So come back here at 7 tomorrow, hop on for that promo show, and then join us at 8 o'clock with the virtual fundraiser for our dear beloved community, the San Francisco Muslim Community Center, as their quest is to raise 50K to acquire as a deposit to put down for the ownership of their building. May Allah bless this effort. May Allah bless the believers of San Francisco Muslim Community Center to be strong, to give them the strength to continue to move forward, to give them the wisdom, the hikmah needed to move forward and to plan forward. May Allah bless this community, us as a national, international community, to allow us to continue to build upon the stratagems that have been left for us in the Quran and the Uswa of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, and our leader, Imam Muhammad, as may Allah forgive him and grant him a station, a nice station in Jannah al-Firdaus, for all of his work and leadership over these years. And we hope that everyone will be able to come on tomorrow and give something to this noble cause, and that we can build sustainable communities now. Everything can happen now. New Africa can be built now on the shores of this country, as our late teacher wanted us to build it on the shores of this country. We don't have to go nowhere else, but we can start it, build it, and sustain it right here, right in our communities. So with that being said, we would like to, any closing remarks from the Imam? Sorry. Imam, any closing remarks, please?
Yes, I'm so grateful to New Freedom Exchange for allowing this platform. I've tuned in to you on previous programs. You're doing great work. May Allah continue to bless your efforts and helping our community to grow and to thrive. I'm truly indebted to you and your workers and supporters, as we are indebted to the workers and supporters of the San Francisco Muslim Center. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Thank you so much. And for that, everyone have a great rest of your evening, and we will see everyone tomorrow night. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What would you like people to think about you when you've gone?
I'd like for them to say he took a few cups of love. He took 1 tablespoon of patience, 1 teaspoon of generosity, 1 pint of kindness. He took 1 quart of laughter, 1 pinch of concern, and then he mixed willingness with happiness. He added lots of faith, and he stirred it up well. Then he spread it over a span of a lifetime, and he served it to each and every deserving person he met.
Muhammad Ali, thank you very much.